Finally, just as natural light started to filter through the ineffectual curtains, everything went quiet. Bernard, sitting up, looked at his watch. It was nearly 5, and he had not slept at all. And then, from the vacant lot next door, where people would illegally park, they started towing the cars. He must have fallen asleep somehow while they were still doing that, while the alarms were still being triggered, one after another. When he next sat up and looked at his watch, it was 10 past 10, which meant he had missed the hotel breakfast. So he went out into the morning, which was already hot, to find something to eat, and ended up in Porky's. Porky's, even at 10:30 a.m., is doing a steady trade. Many of the people there, queuing for their kebabs, are obviously on the final stop of a night out. Hoarsely, they talk to each other or, still damp from the foam disco, stare in the fresh sunlight near the front of the shop, where a machine is loudly extracting the juice from orange halves. With his heavy kebab, Bernard finds a seat at the end of the counter, the last of the stools that are there. Next to him, facing the brown-tinted mirror tiles and still in their party kit with plenty of flesh on show, is a line of young women, laughing noisily as they eat their kebabs and speaking a language he is unable to place. He gets talking to the one sitting next to him when he asks her to pass him the squeezable thing of sauce and then, taking it from her, says, "It was a nice night?" "Where are you from?" he asks her next, the inevitable Protaras question. She is Latvian, she says, she and her friends. Bernard isn't sure where Latvia is. One of those obscure Eastern European places, he supposes. He informs her that he is French. She is on the small side, with a slightly too prominent forehead and spongy blonde hair, a cheap chemical blonde, displaced by something mousier near the roots. Still, he likes her. He likes her little arms and shoulders, her childish hands holding the kebab, the tired points of glitter on her nose. He introduces himself. "Bernard," he says. "Iveta," she tells him her name is. "I like that name," he says. He smiles, and she smiles too, and he notes her nice, straight, white teeth. "You have very nice teeth," he says, and then learns that her father is a dentist. He says, mildly bragging, "I know a guy, his father is a dentist." She seems interested. "Yes?" There is something effortless about this, as they sit there eating their kebabs. Effortlessly, almost inadvertently, he has detached her from the others. She has turned away from them, towards him. "You like Cyprus?" he asks. Eating, she nods. This is her second time in Protaras, he discovers. "Maybe you can show me around," he suggests easily. "I don't know it. It's my first time here." And then she just says, with a simplicity which makes him feel sure he is onto something here, "Okay." "Where are you staying?" he asks. She mentions some youth hostel, and he feels proud of the fact that he is staying in a proper hotel, proud enough to say, as if it were a totally natural question, "What are you doing today?" Her friends are starting to leave. "Sleeping!" She says that with a laugh that unsettles him, makes him feel that maybe their whole interaction has been, for her, a sort of joke, something with no significance, something that will lead nowhere. And he wants her now. He wants her. She is wearing denim hot pants, he sees for the first time, and sandals with a slight heel. "What about later?" he says, trying not to sound desperate. The sense of effortlessness has evaporated. It evaporated the moment she seemed happy to leave without any prospect of seeing him again. Now, however, she lingers. Her friends are leaving, and yet she is still there, lingering,